A Lamp in Every Corner by Janeen K Grohsmeyer. Adapted. Many years ago, in the land of Transylvania, there was a small town nestled in a mountain valley, surrounded by quiet streams and shady forests. The people of the village were of the Unitarian religion, and they wanted a church of their own, a church on a hillside, looking down upon the village as a mother looks down upon her sleeping child. And so, over many weeks, the entire town labored. The stonemasons hammered sharp chisels to cut great blocks of stone for the church exterior. The glaziers made tiny glass panes for the tiny windows. The foresters sawed tall trees into enormous beams for the ceiling. The carpenters carved a pair of beautiful, ornate doors. Merchants bought a bell from a faraway city and hoisted it with a heave and a hoe to the top of the church tower. The weavers wove fine cloth for the altar, embroidered with flowers and lace, and the smiths hammered black iron into tall lampstands. Finally, the building was complete and the church could be painted. So one sunny summer day, the entire town, young and old, gathered to paint the new church. They painted the outside the color of the sun, and they adorned the inside with all the splendors of nature. Flowers, trees, and animals were painted all around the windows, doors, and molding. And at the end of the day, when it was finished, when their church was finally done, all the people of the village stood back to admire it, and then to sing a song of happiness and praise. The village had a church now, a church set on the hillside, looking down upon the village as a mother looks down upon her sleeping child. "We will eat now," announced an elder of the village. Everyone nodded in agreement. Everyone was hungry after their long day's work. The elder continued, "And later tonight we will come back to worship." So the people of the village went down the hillside to their homes and their suppers. All except one little girl named Zora and her father, who stayed behind. They had brought their own bread and cheese. They ate their food slowly, sitting on the grass on the hillside and admiring their new church with its strong stone walls, its tall tower, and its magnificent bell. "Oh, look, Father!" exclaimed Zora. "Look how pretty our church is!" "Yes, it certainly is," replied her father, looking around and nodding with pride. "Yes, it is." Then Zora's face was suddenly stricken with concern. "But, Father, it's just occurred to me it's not finished." "Whatever do you mean, Zora?" asked her father. "There are tall iron stands all around the church, but there are no lamps. The church will be dark when the people come back." Zora's father chuckled. "Oh, no, little one. Don't fret. The light of the church comes from its people. You shall see." As the sun set behind the high mountains, Zora and her father rang the church bell to call the village to worship. And it was then, in the growing darkness, that Zora saw tiny points of light come from many directions and move steadily up the hill in a stream. "Each family is entrusted with a lamp, little one," her father explained. "Each family lights its own way here. "Where is our family's lamp?" inquired Zora. "Your mother is carrying it," replied her father. "She will be here soon." And so Zora's mother arrived, bearing the burning lamp in her hand. Zora placed their lamp upon their family's lampstand, just as all the other families were doing the same. Soon, the church was ablaze with light in every corner, for all the people of the village had gathered to worship. All through the worship, Zora watched the lights flicker and glow. She watched her family's lamp most of all, and when the service was over, Zora took the lamp from their family's lampstand so that her mother and father could carry it home, its flame lighting their way. As Zora prepared for bed that night, she thought about her family's lamp and its light. "Mother," she began, "Father said the light of the church comes from its people." "Yes, Zora," replied her mother, "but also the people take the light from the church, and we have that light every day." "Yes, indeed," replied her mother, "and when you are not in church, even when the lamp is not lit, we carry that light of truth in our mind and the flame of love in our hearts to show us the right way to be. The light of truth and love will never go out." "Never?" asked Zora. "Never," said her mother. "And this lamp will last for many, many years. And when you are grown, we will give it to you. And when your children are grown, you will give the lamp to them. And all of you will carry it back and forth to the church every time." Confused, Zora responded, "But there's only one lamp." "So make another and let the light grow. And someday tell your children to make more lamps too. Now, good night." At that, Zora's mother kissed her once on this cheek, once on that cheek, and once on the forehead. Zora closed her eyes and drifted into dreams while her mother looked down upon her sleeping child. The years passed. Zora grew. The lamp came into her care. She kept it polished and clean. And when the bell rang out across the valley to call the people to worship, she carried the lamp back and forth to the church on the hillside, the flame always lighting her way. And when the time came, she made more lamps and gave them to her children, who made more lamps and gave them to their children. And so it went on through the years, even until today. And always, the light of truth and the flame of love from the Unitarian Church on the hillside continue to grow and show them and us the way.